From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. Blake Bell is playing his last game as a Sooner coming up in the Russell Athletic Bowl, and Jason Kersey joins us on the phone. Jason, obviously Bell's move to tight end this year, talked about, publicized, watched. Now it seems as though NFL types might be watching as well. He made some catches in that Bedlam game that had to have NFL execs pretty excited, but now he gets one more chance to show himself. What are you hearing about his NFL prospects?
Well, I think for Blake, this is a really important game because he's a guy who really, he wore a blue jersey for the first 4 years of his career at OU in practice. And so he spent the last year having to learn how to get tough and be a good blocker. And I think that's the biggest thing for him. His hands were good when they threw him the ball this year. So I don't think that that's really an issue. I think the biggest issue with him is blocking. And he got a lot better at it through the year, but this is going to be the biggest test by far. Clemson has the #1 defense in the country, and that defensive front is really tough. They have an All-American defensive end, Vic Beasley, and Blake might get a chance to line up on him sometimes. And I think this could be a really important game for him.
So I guess it's safe to say, even if he has no catches in this game, he could still make a lot of money in the NFL by the way he blocks?
I think so. I think it'd be good if he had a catch or two against this defense. But I do think that the blocking is the main thing people are concerned about, and people wonder about him. And I think his speed is another issue that he's going to have to maybe answer for at some point. He's not an extremely fast guy, but the blocking is really the thing that he's got to continue to work on.
Definitely so. Hey, as we're talking about NFL and the prospect of moving to that next level, I think maybe some Sooner fans are starting to think about underclassmen that could potentially leave early. Who is maybe dinging the radar when it comes to early entry to the NFL?
The one that I think is pretty clear that he's at least leaning that way is Jordan Phillips. He talks a little bit about how he's thinking about it. He wouldn't say that, but to me, he's the guy that makes the most sense that he would leave early. He's got a back problem. It's flared up a few times this year, not too bad, but I think that for him it might be good to strike while the iron's hot. He might want to go while he can still make some money. I also think Eric Stryker is potentially a guy who could leave early if he gets a good enough draft grade. Dorial Green-Beckham is somebody, everybody's talked about since he came to OU that he may never play it down here, and I think that's a distinct possibility just because of how good he is. He's going to have to deal with his past issues and his past discipline issues. That's all going to come into play, I think, for him, so he's going to have to consider that. And even Sterling Shepard has said that he did put in a grade. He said he doesn't plan on leaving early, but he did put in for a draft grade.
All right, something we'll be monitoring as that early entry deadline approaches. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.